Hey, this is Marilyn Gigliotti.
Hey, this is Brian O'Halloran.
Hey, everybody. My name is Scott Schiaffo, actor best known as the Chulies Gum Guy from the film Clerks.
And welcome to Clerks Minute.
You're listening to Clerks Minute.
And I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Hi, this is Mike Zapsik from AMC's Comic Book Men, the podcast I Sell Comics, and the Ming and Mike Show. And you're listening to Clerks Minute. What's up, everybody? This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Men. You got a minute? Good, because you're listening to Clerks Minute.
Hey, this is Walt Flanagan, the Lon Chaney of the 90s, and you are listening to Clerks Minute.
Whatever It Takes, a podcast about Degrassi, the next generation. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Holland. And today we are joined with some special guests. Would you guys care to introduce yourselves?
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
That's four of us. We're from the podcast 3-Day Rental. If you're listening in December, if you're listening in January, we're from the podcast Blockbuster Night.
We've officially announced the name too.
Yeah, this is, you guys got the
world exclusive.
Yeah, the exclusive name change.
Yeah. But I'm Will Fleming.
I'm Justin Matchick.
I'm Brandon Lane.
And I'm Mike Batten. And what we do is we do a podcast generally about 90s movies. We've covered such classics as Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, and Godzilla, 1998.
Oh, God.
When that actually ties us to this, because turns out Joey from Degrassi was in Godzilla 1998.
No way.
Was he really?
Maybe 10 minutes ago.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know who he was yet.
No, we have no idea
He
who he
was
was
Matthew Broderick's
yet.
body double.
He may as well have been. So, yeah, we're real excited to talk to you guys about this dramatic finale.
A very Kevin Smith Degrassi special.
Yes. So, yeah, today we're going to be talking about Season 4, Episodes 21 and 22, the season finale, Going Down the Road. And, Kelsey, will you please dive into the Degrassi Wiki and read us the summaries?
Yeah, because the YouTube summary is, there is no description. That's what it says. So, for the Wiki, it is, Ashley's leaving for the summer, and her upcoming departure is bothering Craig more than he's letting on. The idea of her temporary farewell, added to the stress of writing a song for Kevin Smith's movie, is making him, well, nuts.
Oh, God.
Okay, that's insensitive as hell. Part 2. Disturbed, Craig runs away. He wanders the streets and meets up with unseemly characters. It's just one unseemly character, but fine. Alone, beaten and robbed of his precious guitar, a disoriented Craig winds up in a shelter. Can his family and friends find him before he slides further into trouble?
Oh my
So
God.
dramatic.
The Degrassi Wiki is dramatic as hell.
And they
And
mention
insensitive.
nothing of the B plot. There's nothing about Caitlin.
Nothing about Jay and Silent Bob.
They casually mention a Kevin Smith movie.
They barely talk about Spinner's cafeteria job.
Oh my God.
Very important.
I'm living for, all right, we're going to talk about it, but I'm living for Jay in a hairnet for his brief cameo.
Oh, the
It
hairnets.
seems that all he does in the entire episode is hit on underage girls.
Oh, yeah.
You think he'd have a little more self-dignity.
This is going to get confusing because there's two Jays now, because there's Jay like Jason Mewes, and then there's Jay, who's a character on Degrassi, who makes a very brief appearance as the other cafeteria worker.
Yeah. Also named Jason, but we don't call him Jason.
Only Mr. Simpson calls him Jason when he's mad. Because he's making out with his stepdaughter. It's fine, you guys.
In a ravine, getting a social disease. It's okay.
You gave me a social disease. Anyway, So we're just gonna like jump. Oh wait, Holland, you have to talk about this like weird episode title.
So the episode title is "Goin Down the Road," which is not a song, but from what I can gather, it's a 1970 Canadian film. It's like a road trip film. I think it's like fairly significant to people in Canada, but I've never heard of it. But this episode title was originally "Crying Over You," which is an 80s song by the new wave group Platinum Blonde. But that's all I got. Oh, and it features a guitar solo from the guitarist from Rush. So that's exciting. But that's all I got. I don't know how it relates. Is it like Craig going down a troubled road?
I think so. Actually, this might be like the most it's made sense in a while. And Crying Over You would have been good too. I don't know why they changed it.
Well,
I don't know either.
I kind of feel like you have two subplots with the father and the son where they both have significant others in their lives and both of them have opportunities to go abroad, and I guess how they handle it. And I've never really watched Degrassi before this. I knew what it was. So I guessing Craig has bipolar disorder and his father, I guess, is trying to support him.
Wait,
So.
I don't think Joey's his father.
It's his stepdad.
Stepdad. Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
That's
But
fine.
same. Father figure.
Is Kayla? Is actually she just left her son?
Oh no, Caitlin's not his. Caitlin's not related to him at all. So a little backstory on like Craig.
We
so
jumped
troubled.
in on this fresh.
I'm like, first of all, I want to hear like your thoughts on your
Everybody.
first Degrassi watch, but I'm gonna explain Craig's home life for like a second. So Craig lived with both of his parents, and then his mother left his father for Joey, and then she died. We have no information about when or how or why. And Craig's father was like abusive and a huge asshole, and Craig ran away from him after like some time and moved in with Joey. And then Craig's dad died in a car wreck, and now like Joey is just like taken over as dad.
To the life of drama television.
Canada's.
Now I know why he has like
Such
that's
teen
completely
angst.
understandable now.
Yeah, he has a lot of angst.
Why is
It's a
he
rough
such
life.
an angsty teen when his life is just in shambles?
And on top of it, he has a mental illness.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Craig is not doing great, but he is Jake Epstein is an amazing actor.
He's a great actor.
So you guys, I want to hear about your Degrassi history or lack thereof, and like what you think of your first Degrassi episode ever.
I've never I knew what Degrassi was. Like I know when Mike was telling us about this, he's mentioned we were watching the Kevin Smith episode, and when I was 17 years old, I was a really, really big fan of Kevin Smith. Like I'd seen Clerks 2 at the time and got into some of his movies, and I knew that I guess he had Degrassi references in some of his films. He was a big fan of the show. So I know that they did an episode or episodes where Jay and Silent Bob were on it. I never knew what channel Degrassi was on. I know it's a Canadian television show, but I had heard of it. I knew it was like a high school drama, comedy drama, whatever. But I had never seen it before, so this was literally the first time I'd ever watched Degrassi, and that's like the next generation, like Star Trek.
Yeah, I was upset Captain Picard wasn't on it.
Like I know it's been a long running show. I think it was on in like the 80s or 90s, and then it came back.
Yeah.
With the next generation.
Yeah.
I think it's still going. Is it still going on now? Then it just had the
now
new class.
it's in a third iteration called Next Class on Netflix, and neither Kelsey and I have seen that one.
We watched. There was a reunion episode that they had like some of the Next Generation cast on. So we watched that episode, and a lot of our listeners really like that show. It seems fine. It's a lot more woke than Degrassi: The Next Generation, which is good. Like if anything, that's just a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like this is so like heavily based in nostalgia for us that like. I don't know if we can get into a new teen drama.
Yeah.
Do you, Justin and Brandon, do you guys have any history with?
I never.
With Degrassi?
I knew what it was. I'd heard of it. I think a lot of people who have never heard of it are more aware of it now because of Drake's emergence in the past 5 years or so.
Yeah.
But before last week, I had never seen an episode of Degrassi ever. and what interesting episodes to come in on.
We gave you a couple doozies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never seen an episode. Before, I think on our last episode I was talking about, I watched like a trailer for this one season. I don't remember which season it was, but it was the trailer where they were in an amusement park type deal.
Oh, yeah.
And I really liked the song, and like I liked the way that the trailer was done, how it let me know everything I needed to know about the show. Like I feel like I could go into whatever season that was and understand what every character was, and you know their specific any ailments they had or any type of like weird tics that they had because of the way that the trailer was done. So that's my history before watching these two episodes.
Just like a really well done trailer.
Yeah. So this isn't what I watched. That's it.
I think I have the most Degrassi history out of the four of us
combined.
Yeah, my brother and sister loved Degrassi, and I guess I never really watched it with them, but I would watch it. So I haven't seen it in maybe like since it actually aired, and what I do remember is all just vague, like, hey, these kids are in high school and there's a lot of drama going on. Kevin Smith comes around sometimes.
Like more than you would expect him to.
Yeah, like he's in what, like 3 seasons?
He spans over the course of 2. Like he's in like 5 episodes, 6. He has like a 6-episode arc. It's really confusing.
Does he get his bump in the intro in later seasons?
Does he marry Caitlin?
I don't know.
Do they get married? I don't think so.
I don't like it.
It's so weird because Kevin Smith, like as a human person, like when this was like filming, he was already married, like had a child. Like this is like the weirdest Kevin Smith AU.
Does Degrassi take place in the View Askew universe?
Yes.
Like, okay, cool.
Reality.
Cool. So that means that there's a mall and Clerks and all those are going on simultaneously while these kids are in high school.
100%. But like Clerks was probably when like the original Degrassi was airing, or like maybe around the time of the original Degrassi movie.
Yeah, it was like wrapping up in the early 90s. I don't know when that movie came out.
There was a Degrassi movie?
94 was
Canada's a different world, my friend.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
You just got woke a little bit.
Yeah.
But I did like that they had Kevin Smith on there, and he kind of does his usual self-deprecation shtick. Like,
They even commented on it. How he's a self-deprecating type of person.
It was like the Kevin Smith show taking over Degrassi, basically.
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Comic book man hits Degrassi.
Well, what's the name of the movie? It's Jay and Silent Bob Go Canadian, eh? And now, like, Kevin Smith is kind of doing that. He made Tuscan Yoga Hosers, which is like both movies that take place in Canada.
He had his 3-part Canadian trilogy.
Yeah.
Very proud of him. He got to live his best Canadian dreams.
He's got to go back there for all the beautiful women. Right?
Apparently.
The ultimate self-insert character.
Oh my god. He wrote in his own Mary Sue, like, as himself. It's kind of precious.
And I'm going to get with Caitlin. This is my dream.
Right, that seemed really creepy, where it's like, I guess since he was a fan of the show, he obviously had a crush on her earlier.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
now he's like, I'll guest if you let me get with Caitlin. I'm just like, why? That is so weird that they have this guest actor come on and immediately get with.
It's like when Hulk Hogan was booking for WCW and just kept on booking himself to win everything.
Yeah, just like,
his wife is in the episode too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's like the script girl.
Yeah, she comes in as like the teacher when Caitlin can't do it, right?
Oh my gosh.
It's so weird.
This is weird.
They were probably in a fight. I would do a Degrassi episode and keep making out with this redhead in front of your
to be fair, at least he didn't write himself to hit on 17-year-olds like Jason.
Is that worse though? He's literally committing adultery in front of his wife.
Well, I just feel like with Jason Mewes, like I get that the only reason he has a career is because of Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm led to understand that he's pretty much the same person that he is in real life. as he is as Jay.
Will, it's called acting. You have nothing else to base it off of.
No, like if you've ever seen him in interviews and stuff, like Jason Mewes is pretty much Jay.
Oh,
Like-
I follow his social medias because, fun fact, I'm still New Jersey trash and I still have a crush